Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to take a look at our December monthly call. This is Nina Gall, the HMIS trainer and project coordinator. So this month we have some exciting things to tell you guys about. Let me go ahead and jump right in. So for starters, we want to give you some information about the 8.0 upgrade that we had this past weekend. So as you may know, it was completed on December 15th, which was a Saturday. HMIS went down for less than an hour, which is fantastic for an upgrade. That was really good news. You may have noticed by now that the login page was redesigned. So if you get to HMIS, if you have not done this already, you get to HMIS and you see the old login page, what you want to do is close your browser or refresh Google Chrome, whichever one, so that you see the new login page. If you try to log in through the old login page, you'll be able to log in, but as soon as you start to navigate around, you'll get an error message because that is the older version of the software. So keep in mind your login information is going to be the same, even though the login portal looks a little bit different now. So you may have received an email recently about a few issues that we have identified with the new upgrade. One of those was an issue with the physical disability question on the HUD program assessment. There was an issue answering the dependent question. However, we were actually able to correct that with our software vendor already. So that one is taken care of and it's good to go. We tested it and it is working properly now. On the HUD financial assessment, an issue that was existent in our 7.2 version of the software that we now have in the 8.0 version as well is when you answer that the client does not have a source of income and click Save No Income, you get an error message stating that you must select at least one row. So when you see that, don't worry, don't panic. It will save the HUD financial assessment and it will allow you to move on with the workflow. We have addressed this with our vendor and we're hoping that they can get it corrected soon. But in the meantime, it's just a little hiccup. It's not actually causing any data problems or anything like that. Another one on the outcomes. If your exit assessment has an outcome section in it, you may have noticed that the outcome itself is there. However, when you try to enter the outcome score, it is not able to be selected. So once again, this is something that we have identified and have addressed with our software vendor, and we hope to have it corrected soon. But we will keep you updated on it as well. The next one, if you are familiar with the remove and exit family member feature, which allows you to exit a client from all existing enrollments and then remove them from their family and add them to a new one. So if you try to go through this workflow right now, the provider field is actually missing on the exit assessment page, so it will not allow you to move forward with the workflow. So in the meantime, if you need to make any changes to family composition or if you're having any issues with that, feel free to reach out to us and we can always help you through that as well. And last one, we did notice a pretty significant decrease in speed of the software as a result of the upgrade. This is also something that we have addressed with our vendor. They were able to replicate it, and so they are aware of the speed decrease, and they are currently working with us to see what we can do to get it corrected. So we do deeply apologize for any inconvenience that any of these issues have caused, and we do hope to have them corrected as quickly as possible. If you have any issues with any of those things and it's causing a work stoppage or if there's anything going on, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you work through any of these issues. So up next, you may have noticed that we have some challenges going on right now with our workflow. This actually was something that was occurring prior to the upgrade, but seems to be a little bit more prevalent now that we have completed the workflow. So what's going on is it seems that there is a timeout on some of the assessments when going through the workflow. So users are reporting that the screen just stays blank and then eventually will time out. So if you do encounter this issue, there is a way to get around it. You do not have to not enroll the client. What you can do is if you close the window that you have open with the workflow and go through the same method that you prompted the initial workflow. Now what I mean by that is a lot of times if you go to the client's enrollment page and you click assessment pending, you have the option to complete the entry assessment. However, in this case, what you want to do is you want to go through, if you, for example, if you initially went through the client intake tab and selected HMIS entry workflow, if you go back through that tab and click the entry workflow once more, it will, when the window appears, it'll show you the workflow that you were working on, and it will ask you if you want to continue working on that. If you click on that, it'll take you right back to where you left off in the workflow. And if there are any custom features in the workflow, it will include those. Versus if you go through the assessments pending option, you may miss some of the custom. Make sure you go through the same method that you initially did. But just know that the data is actually still saving properly when you're going through the workflow. So you don't have to worry about assessments going missing or anything like that. That is not a problem at all. It is working properly. It just seems to kind of get stuck in the middle a little bit. And this is another issue that we are working with our software vendor to correct. They stated that they hope that they should be able to fix it in the near future. So hopefully we will have this corrected soon. So next up, we do have an update on the longitudinal system analysis for you. So the official deadline for submission was December 14th. We did actually get the report submitted by the December 14th deadline, which was fantastic. And we just really want to take a moment to thank you for all of your hard work completing data corrections. You know, it can be a little bit tedious if you're a program that serves a large number of clients. So we just want to let you know that we do really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to make those data corrections. Ideally, now that we have some good data quality, we can continue to maintain that throughout the year and continue to monitor it periodically so that next year when it comes time to submit this report once again, we'll already have good data quality and we won't actually have to go through and do so many data corrections. So ideally, if we can keep up with our data quality, then each report season will be very smooth going forward. So next up for LSA, we will continue to work with the data review liaison to correct any issues that we found, if there's any errors, if there's any missing data, anything like that. And of course, as always, we will keep users updated as necessary. If there's any changes, if we need anything from you guys, we will definitely keep you updated on what's going on. So we do want to give you a couple of security reminders. Number one, we want to make sure that new staff members at your agency are not shadowing in HMIS until they have actually attended the HMIS new user training. We just want to make sure that the data found in HMIS is protected. So we want to make sure that no one views the information in HMIS until they attend the proper training. So please keep that in mind. We do usually try to schedule new user trainings twice a week so that we can get new staff members into training as quickly as possible in order to prevent this problem. So just please keep that in mind. Also, administrators, we do ask that you submit a ticket to HMIS within 24 hours of employee termination. We do need to deactivate their HMIS account as quickly as possible to prevent any unauthorized access. So we do ask that you submit a ticket within 24 hours. And there's no form needed or anything like that. We just need a ticket stating the individual's name so that we can go in and deactivate their account. All right, so next up, if you don't know already, we do have the point in time count coming up next month in January. So as always, the HMIS team is going to be conducting training sessions to cover the sheltered count. So as of now, we are tentatively scheduling 4 different opportunities for you to attend the training. We've got 2 morning sessions and 2 afternoon sessions. So those are going to be Wednesday, January 9th in the afternoon from 1 to 3. And then Thursday, January 10th, we will have a morning session from 9 to 11 a.m. And then Thursday, we will also have an afternoon session from 1 to 3 p.m. And then Friday, January 11th, we're going to have a morning session once again from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. These trainings will be conducted on campus at Haven for Hope. And they will be in the training classroom so that you guys can get into HMIS and kind of go through the training along with us. So that's just going to be the training to cover how to run the PIT report, which is used to capture the sheltered individuals. And then the following week, on Tuesday, January 15th, we're going to have a mock pit report submission. So that means that we are actually going to go through and with you, we're going to ask you to go through and create the report and then send us a mock version of it just to make sure that we don't have any hiccups and that we are fully prepared when it comes time for pit. And then the week after that will be the official pit report submission, which will be on the date of the point in time count, which will be Thursday, January 24th. We are going to ask that the report is submitted by 12 p.m. that day so that we can begin to look through it, make sure everything is ready to go, and that we have all the data that we need. So these are, this is going to include all emergency shelter and transitional housing projects. So if you are a point of contact or a project manager for an emergency shelter or transitional housing project in HMIS, you will be invited to the trainings and you will be responsible for the pit report submission for your project. So please keep an eye out for the January HMIS monthly newsletter. That is where we will have the official information and it'll include a link to register for the training of your choice. So if you want to go ahead and put it on your calendar now, and then as soon as you see that January monthly newsletter come in, make sure you register for those spots that they may fill up. Also, we have some exciting news about our monthly call. So we are no longer going to be scheduling the monthly call and holding it at 3 p.m. on the third Thursday of every month. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to record it as usual, but we are just going to go ahead and post it directly to the HMIS website by the third Thursday of the month. So this will be a little bit more convenient for you guys. You don't have to block time off to attend the call. You'll have it readily available whenever you are ready to view it. Of course, we will continue to send out the PowerPoint to everyone on the mailing list via email. And then if you have any questions or concerns, you are always more than welcome to reach out to us. You can submit a ticket. If it's urgent, then of course, you know, we are always here to help. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we want to let you guys know that we are going to be closed on December 25th and January 1st. That's going to be our holiday season. So Tuesday, December 25th and Tuesday, January 1st. So if you have any reports that are going to be due during that time, if you want to get a head start on them, just in case, to make sure that you won't need any assistance from the HMIS team on those days. And if you don't know this already, if your account gets locked out during that time, of course, we don't want you to be locked out and not be able to log in. You do have the option to use the Forgot Your Password link on the login page. And this will reset, it'll send you a link with a temporary password, and it will unlock your account if your account has been locked out. So we want to encourage you to use that link during this time if your account does get locked out to prevent any work stoppages, because we still want you to be able to log in during this time of support. And then, of course, we will return to normal business hours after those holidays. So December 26th, we will be here at 8 a.m. and then Tuesday, January 2nd, we'll be here at 8 a.m. once again. All right, and last but not least, as always, we have our data quality spotlight. So let me just start by saying this list this month is longer than it has ever been since we began doing our data quality spotlight, which is really exciting. So I really want to give a special shout out to AGIS. If you notice up here, they have a significant amount of projects that have 0 data corrections this month, which is phenomenal. This is actually every single project on our list for AGIS has 0 data corrections. That is absolutely phenomenal. So AGIS, thank you so much for taking the time to make data corrections and make sure that you have good data quality. We really, really appreciate that. We also have VAs coming in with 2 projects with 0 data corrections. CH3S, their PSH2 program with 0 data corrections. We've got 3 Endeavors projects, all with 0 data corrections. Good job, Endeavors. HABC, 2 of their projects with 0 data corrections, both Safe COC PSH projects. We have 2 projects from SAHA, the COC PSH 15, as well as the VASH PSH project, 0 data corrections. The ministries, we've got the Prevention Services and TDHCA with 0 data corrections. St. Vincent de Paul is a new one, the BEAR ESG Prevention, Looks like I have a little typo there. That's supposed to say ESG prevention. And then Thrive COC RRH with zero data corrections, and TSA scattered site PSH. So really great job on this, guys. It's phenomenal to see this list growing each month. This is wonderful. We really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to make sure that your data is as good as it can be, and that's fantastic. All right, and that is all we have for you today. So thank you for taking the time to um, participate in our monthly call. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to submit a ticket to hmis.support@havenforhope.org. We're always happy to help. Other than that, we wish everybody a happy and safe holiday season, and we hope to see you soon in the new year. You guys enjoy the rest of the year.